Nate Goyard.
Okay, all right.
Hello and welcome back to the CFCTALK podcast. A little bit more hype this time. But yeah, champions of the world we are. Beating Palmeiras in the final, third English club to do it. And as much as Twitter likes to call it the plastic cup, guys, your quick thoughts on the game before we dive into the key moments.
Champions of the world, man. Sounds great. I think in the Chelsea Twitter account has already changed it from their bio from champions of Europe to champions of the world, quite rightly. And it sounds a bit weird because you see, I don't know, maybe it's an American sport thing, you know, when they say champion of the, where they're world champions, but they're only really beating American teams. But we did it. We beat Hilal and then, yeah, Palmeiras. So it's just been a nice competition to kind of play against teams that you wouldn't normally, and they've definitely been difficult teams. I'd say, I think against Hilal, they played really well and in parts, and we were lucky to come away with that, to come away with a win. And then in this game, they had some really good attackers. They were really good pace from some of their front players. So it definitely wasn't easy. They were through on goal quite a few times. So yeah, really tricky game, but it doesn't matter anymore. We're world champions, and we're going to have that nice looking badge, hopefully, on our home kit. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's a great feeling. And the fact that we've already won technically 2 trophies for Thomas Tuchel already is, and with the
3 trophies.
Yeah, yes, not Super Cup, Club World Cup.
And this one.
This is the Club World Cup.
Yeah,
Champions League.
No, oh, sorry, actually, yeah, I meant to, in my head, I thought, this season, but yeah, two calls. Yeah, you're right, my bad. Exposing me already, that's going to go on, never mind. But yeah, so to win
Alex forgets the Champions League.
Yeah, what I meant is 2 trophies this season, and with the potential to add a third at the end of this month is pretty big. So yeah, that's gonna be a nice cup final to look forward to as well. But yeah, to have 2 trophies already in this season, we're only in February, is pretty huge. So long may it continue.
Yeah. It was a stressful game to watch, to be honest, because the first half I think the whole game we're not our best at all. Like we just, I don't know, we were getting outrun by the Palmeiras players. They were getting more chances than us, and it was very, very difficult. But we came out on top finally. This is a trophy it's a trophy that we hadn't won yet. We've won every other trophy apart from this one under Abramovich, even in our history. So now we can sing that we've won it all, and totally won it all. And like you said, they've also changed the Twitter bio to champions of the world. I know it's going to annoy a lot of people because I remember it annoyed me when Liverpool did it. So I know it's definitely going to annoy a lot of people because it feels weird calling Chelsea the champions of the world, like when they just won a competition where they played only twice. Like it really doesn't hold up. But the title is still the same. Whether we played twice or more than 2 times, it still holds the same. So yeah, I'm very, very happy that we finally got this trophy in the bag. Happy for the boys, happy for the coach. Yeah, up the Chelsea.
Right in time, Tuchel, who wasn't in Abu Dhabi with us, came in, won the trophy, and now he's going to fly back. Let's continue on a positive note for now before we go and start grilling a few of the moments from tonight's game and the Champions League, and not the Champions League final, the semi-final, and then the Plymouth game. Cesar Azpilicueta, who's won every single trophy at the club. First player to do that, actually. First player to actually win every single trophy at Chelsea. As much as I want him at the club next year, it seems highly unlikely that he will be. Barcelona is lining up a few offers and they seem very keen on signing him for another 2 years. What does that mean for like Chelsea? I mean, we bought him in 2012 for like £7 million. Who knew 10 years down the line? What a send-off for him.
Yeah, man, he's just up there with, I mean, he's not he's not saying the absolute top class of Chelsea legend, but I'd say in the second from top, like with Eden Hazard, I think he's there. Honestly, he's arguably even a greater legend of Chelsea than Eden Hazard, and that really hurts to say as a massive fan of him. But yeah, he's going to leave Chelsea in a huge Chelsea legend who captained the club for a really successful period of the club. And yeah, it's going to really, in terms of replacing him, we just won't be able to bring in that experience from someone else. So it really does hurt that we can't we're not able to offer him more the number of years that he wants on that contract. So yeah, I don't know how we get around that at all. I guess Jules Koundé, if we get Jules Koundé in, that's a big positive for another kind of right centre back who can play there. But yeah, we're just not going to be able to replace his experience, his ice cool nature, and yeah, his consistency at the end of the day. So yeah, it's going to be a huge loss, but he'll leave the club on a massive high, and hopefully he gets a great reception or a great send-off at the end of the season. But yeah, and hopefully he can win some more trophies until then as well.
Yeah, I think he's the most successful Chelsea captain, right? Because he's one.
John's. I mean, in most successful, I guess, in terms of diversity of trophies. Yeah. But number John Terry is it's way more.
John Terry has more trophies than him, but it seems like he has won every trophy with Chelsea. John Terry definitely has more than him in numbers, but like you said, like that alone will just put him there like as one of our. He's a club legend currently. I remember when we won the Champions League and people were saying that does this make him people were debating whether he's a club legend or not. He was already a club legend before we even won that trophy. So there's nothing really to debate about it. I kind of felt really sad for him, or I think really bad for him when he came right after we won the Champions League, right? The first time, the 2012 Champions League. He came, I think, the next transfer window after that. And so he wasn't there when we won the previous one, and he has waited so long to win it again. 2020, he won it, and then after that, he has won countless trophies. He has won the Super Cup, he has won the FIFA Club World Cup, and I'm just happy for him. And he's 32, 33, and the way he plays now, like he's still young. Him and Thiago Silva, the way they manage to run up and down the field at at the ages that they are, it's really, really crazy. It just goes to show how hard they work, how hard they train, how hard they keep their bodies fit and healthy. And he deserves everything that, like, every trophy he's won, he deserves it. You can see that he really motivates the guys whenever the team is down. Even today in the extra time period, you could see him pushing the players. You could see him even after the handball thing came. He controlled it very, very well. He told the players to back off. He went to talk to the referee, and like you can see that the leadership qualities is there. And if like you guys said, if he ends up going to Barcelona, I wish he stays. I really wish he stays. I really wish he stays in a different capacity. If he can't play like in different capacity at the club, but if he has to go to Barcelona, we really can't hate him for that. He has given the club everything he has, and yeah, we wish him the best. But he's really one of the better players that we have right now. He's won everything. He was the only one. He was the only one remaining from that squad that didn't win the Club World Cup in 2012. He was the only one left. Everybody else that he played with has left the club. He's the only one, the only surviving member. So I'm happy he's won it too as well.
I'm going to put a tough question to both of you now. That's hopefully Mohammad can turn into a juicy clip. No. So you can only pick one right back for your Chelsea team, do you pick Branislav Ivanovic or Cesar Azpilicueta? Go.
Bran. I'm picking Bran.
Oh, we expose him.
That's a good question. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think Asby. I think Asby for me.
Yeah. I've split the room. Yes.
No, I will. Yeah, I think Asby for me, just because I've seen Asby play live, as in like from what I've seen from Ivanovic is mostly been highlights. You know,
Okay.
yes, I've seen a lot of games of him I've seen live, but it's not been as much as I've seen Aspi. And Aspi is more of a leader than just a defender. You know, there's a reason that he's been the captain for a while now. I think, yeah, Ivanovic was more of a player who would come in, do his job, and you know, walk out. And Aspi is more of a guy who will come in, lead the team onto the pitch, and may take responsibility for whatever happens, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think they're pretty similar, but the reason why I'm picking Branislav is that he's a better goal scorer than Aspi. Going forward, Branislav would give you a winning goal. He scored a winning goal when we won the Europa League, and was it 2012, 2013? He scored a winning goal, and he scored the last goal when we started turning, like our turn around in the 2012 Champions League 4-1 against Napoli. He scored the last one. So that player, the goals that he has scored and the happiness he has brought to me, I really can't pick Aspi over him. And defensively, they're pretty much the same. Aspi is very, very hard in defense. Branislav is also very, very hard in defense. I think Branislav is more of a, I don't know whether this is going to go on YouTube, but he's more of a shithouse player. He's more like Rudiger is. Like he tackles hard, he goes in hard for the tackles. He's not afraid of going in for a challenge, just like Aspi too as well. But I think Branislav just takes it a notch further. He's really, really good in defense, but like his goal scoring ability, like the headers, the shots, that like he has scored very important goals in Chelsea's history. So I'm going to pick Ivanovic just because of the attacking threat that he offers, the assists too that he creates.
But if I may add, Aspi scored more goals for Chelsea than Ivanovic.
He's also been at Chelsea for longer.
Yeah.
So, and he's also played at wing back, which will boost his numbers. I'm actually really surprised by that, to be honest. But in fairness, I've scored bigger goals, I think, in Aspi. I've scored massive ones. The one that comes to mind mostly was Man City, where he cut in onto his left foot, his weak foot as well, and rifled one in, which is a huge, in 2013-14. That was a massive game. And like Amart said, he scored in the Europa League final as well. Yeah, for me, I think, Ivor is much better offensively, but for Aspi's consistency, the fact that he captained the club, the fact that he's won everything, the fact that he hasn't had a season where he massively dipped. With Ivor, it always, whenever I think to him of the 15-16 season and 16-17 season, he dropped off pretty significantly, which is really sad to see. But it doesn't diminish away from the massive impact he had on Chelsea in the early 2010s and before then as well. He came in 2008. So I think both. I think Aspi's the bigger legend, but
definitely.
I'm gonna go just Aspi, but only by the small margins, just because he's consistent and I'd say more consistent. But I think the fact that he's played everywhere in that back 4 or 5, he's played every single position imaginable, and it's just pips it for me. But love Ivor.
I think going on the flashback to the point where Alex said Aspi is a club legend, maybe not as big as the others with Drogba, Terry Lam. I would put him right up there. I think I would put him right up there with everyone. I mean, he's won everything. He's put in his shift at multiple positions at Chelsea. He's shown that he plays for the badge. I can't seem to remember a single foot that he's put wrong where you kind of doubt his leadership skills or his loyalty to Chelsea or whatever. I think he's right up there for me.
The
No,
cup
I think-
final. We don't talk about that. No.
We've gone past that now. It's too late for that.
Moved on. Kepa's
No, I think-
redeemed himself. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
I think Aspie's right up there for me. Top five from off. I want to make sure I get
Top
this
five.
right. Top five
The
of
past.
all
Because
the players.
you have 4 guys already above him there.
Yeah, bro.
You have
There's
4 guys already.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether
Terry,
he's going
Check,
for
Drogba, Lampard. So he's got to be fifth.
Terry, check.
Top five for me.
Okay. So so Ashley Cole is less of a legend than Aspie.
That's you can put Ashley Cole,
Top.
ACN, Michael ACN.
Yeah. Amart will leave if you don't back down. So
Yes.
My-
I'm going to put Aspie in top
My
10.
time of watching football, my time of watching Chelsea starts from about 2012-13.
Okay.
After that Champions League win, and regularly day and night watching and following Chelsea and the players starts from about 2014-15 kind of thing, before we won the title with Mourinho, the year before we won that. So for me, it's the range of the last 7 to 10 years which I look at when I pick my top 5 for Chelsea, and I'm sure 100%. You talk about Essie and you talk about Lampard, you talk about all those guys who had their primes way before I even started watching football. I still, because I never watched them live or I never watched them on a week-to-week basis, I can't relate to kind of the performances they put in. Because on highlights, yes, you only see the best moments, And I'm not trying to take away anything from, their achievements and their incredible, stint at Chelsea.
But see, as somebody who I watched them play from 2003, late 2002. I watched all of them when they came to the club and were playing, and like a lot of Chelsea's firsts were under those guys. Were with those guys. A lot of Chelsea's first trophies we've won, a lot of records that we broke, a lot of things that we did, like cementing our name in club football history. It was with those guys. It was with Drogba, Lampard, Terry, ACN, Czech, Ashley Cole, all those players. It was with them. So like, it's very hard putting Aspie in that list, even though he deserves to be in it. Like I said, he's definitely going to be in my top 10. He's going to be in my top 10, but top 5 is very difficult for me to put him there because he's like the second half of the Abramovich era, like the second half, after the 2012, the time that you said you started watching after 2012 coming. He's arguably the biggest legend amongst that squad. Probably him and Lampard. They are probably the biggest amongst that team. But before everything before that, I don't know, they are bigger names. They're bigger names than Aspie. They are.
We should
wrap
it up before we become the Aspie CFC.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me add on to this and say, a month from now, if we win the Carabao Cup, what to talk about. Alonso would have won everything at Chelsea.
Well, he wasn't. Wait, was he in the match day squad for the Club World Cup?
I think he was, but he was on the traveling squad. He went
to the hotel room. That doesn't count, man. No.
He played against Al Hilal, or didn't he? I think he did.
Oh no, he's on the bench. He was on the bench tonight.
Yeah, he played against Al Hilal.
Okay, well, Alonso, we're going to have a big chat in a month's time, maybe, about whether Alonso becomes a Chelsea legend. But until then, I think we can talk a little bit more about less nightmarish ideas.
Yeah, we went on a tangent there.
yeah. But that's what podcasting's about. So let's go.
Yeah. Let's head back into the game. Actually, didn't start off well. I mean, I guess we started off well. Five minutes. I guess the first 5 to 10 minutes, I thought we were playing well until we decided, sack it off. Let's make it a hard day for every Chelsea fan, and let's make them actually make it feel like a very hard final. And first half really poor. Let me begin with the two that I thought were really poor, and I know I shouldn't be grilling them after that goal, but Callum Hudson-Odoi and Lukaku, both for me. I think the first half was just awful.
Yeah.
At one point, I was surprised Tuchel didn't take them off at halftime.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad that we had 5 subs in this game, to be honest, because we would have had to save. I think we saved one until the very end with Kepa to see if. I think, did we use all 5? Because I thought we might have. When did we use our 5th sub?
We did. Sar
We
maybe?
did. And I saw some tweets saying that we had an extra time sub.
Yeah. Oh geez. So we used our 5th sub for Ziyech. Also,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I did not notice Malang come on. Maybe I was making dinner busy. I'm sorry, Malang, if you watch this. That's a good thing. We didn't notice. But I don't know if maybe we used our 5th sub.
We used it on Sar. We used it on Sar, but he was right on the 90th minute.
That was the 90th minute. So
yeah,
even though I tweeted out saying, "Oh, it's Kepa time," I think just before Havertz scored, but I didn't realize that we used all 5 subs. But yeah. So what were you saying again? I think that's another tangent.
I think he was talking.
I was just in general talking about the first half and how really disappointed with Lukaku and Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, Callum, I feel like it's been going on for a while, I think, but he doesn't take on his man as much as usual, or maybe he does, but he just doesn't get past players as easy as he used to find. But he had that, I think it was against Plymouth, where he did exactly the same for the first half against Plymouth. And then I think Tuchel put a rocket up his bum or something. I don't know what he did, but he started taking on players, getting past players, and done much better. No, that was against Tottenham. Sorry, against Tottenham first half, and then he made an assist for Ziyech's rocket, or not rocket, but nice goal. So he can do it. He just we kind of miss the Callum. When we think of Callum, sometimes we think of the 2018 Sarri dribble merchant, but it happens, and we forget sometimes that he's still really young. 2021, he's younger than Mount. He's younger than most of the other kind of academy players. So we got to cut him slack. Lukaku, on the other hand, if I speak, I'm in trouble. So on to you, Amart.
I mean, like I agree with Mohammed. The first half, Callum, and I even tweeted. I said the first half we played 9 men against Palmeiras, because Lukaku and Callum were. I think I even forgot that Callum was playing that game. To be honest, I forgot, because the ball was nowhere near his side. Anytime he got it, he lost it to Palmeiras, the defender or something. He tried to beat them. At least there were some times where he attempted to beat them and couldn't do it. I don't know whether it's a lack of confidence, but we all know he has the skill to do it, but I don't know whether it's the confidence, or I don't know, at the time the ability was lacking or something. But maybe he was intimidated by them or something. Like you said, he's still young, so he still needs to build that kind of psyche. He still needs to build that kind of confidence and to be able to go up against anybody he faces. I think sometimes he's a little bit timid. He likes to play safe at times, and he did that a lot. And he was non-existent in the first half. But with Lukaku too, we all know how Lukaku is. Like he has been in no man's land for a very long time. I feel like the 4-3-3 formation favors him well, because the 4-3-3 formation, at least he supported well. He supported closely by Ziyech and maybe Mount, or no, Mount would play behind Ziyech. So maybe Havertz on the left and Werner on the left. He supported well. Even with those games, he still finds it difficult to get a grip on the ball, to hold on to possession. But in a game like this where he's the only attacker up front, it's difficult because he doesn't come in to take the ball. He always waits for the ball. I think there was a moment in the game where Thiago Silva got angry with him because he was calling for the ball. Thiago Silva passed it and he didn't even make the run. And you could see Thiago Silva was visibly angry. And I think this kind of formation doesn't help him at all. It's just like I'm defending him a bit, but yeah, even though he doesn't do on other formations, I think this one is really, really bad for him. But he still came up with the goal, good header, good work from Callum in the second half too as well. So there was nothing really to complain about. But after the goal too, they went back to the way they were in the first half. They linked up very well, and the goal came, and then they reverted back to the way they were. I don't know why it happens like that, but like I said before we recorded, his job is to score goals. So if he scored goals, there's not really much we can complain about. So because that's what people keep saying. We paid 90 million, 100 million for him to come and score goals. So if he's scoring those goals, we can't really complain that much.
Two of our three goals. Oops, sorry. Go on.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say 2 of our 3 Club World Cup goals were scored by him. So he's done his job, I think, in the past week. But
I think with me, the issue with Lukaku has never been the fact that he's putting in bad performances week in, week out. It contributes to it, no doubt. You do feel like I shot myself in the foot by saying the problem isn't the performances here, but I think if you compare Lukaku and Werner, and Werner was the reason there's a debate where there's not enough chances being created for Lukaku to actually perform well is because he doesn't find space. Not once do I see him run around, try and create space that like Werner does. And at times, what counters that is his reaction when there's a cross or there's a ball coming in, but he's not bothered enough to chase it. We saw it today as well. There was a ball that was put in by, I think, Thiago Silva. He was just not bothered enough. I think Thiago Silva went up to him and just like scolded him for it, which was perfectly right for me. And that's the issue that people have with Lukaku. It's because he's not creating those spaces. He's not. Werner used to move around so much that space would be created, and even a chance, even if it wasn't just for Werner, someone else would get the opportunity to try and score. Lukaku, it's just not happening right now. That's the issue with Lukaku. And then the other one is when he gets the ball, he just can't keep it right now. I think he had like 8 or 9 duels with the Palmeiras players, and he only won one or two of those. So it's a concerning factor that you, as a striker, you want him to hold the ball, at least hold the ball, wait for the wingers and wait for the attackers to go forward, try and make a pass, and then run in behind the defender or so, and try and create the chance, which is just not happening with Lukaku right now. I think it's just kind of poor. It's
really valid, I think, on this, but especially on the second point. You expect him to, it's his bread and butter holding up the ball, and yes, he can do more than that. You'd expect him to be able to do that strong. But at the same time, I think comparing him to Werner, sometimes it's a little like, yes, with Timo, you get more chances, but then we can't finish them. With Lukaku, he can finish them, but we get less chances. Seems like a little double-edged sword we have here. But I think they're just different kinds of players as well. Like Timo is much faster, but he wouldn't score that bullet header that Lukaku did today. So he's not gonna. I think Werner is used differently in this team as well. He starts out much wider, so he's gonna run a bit. He's got more space to run around and run into, whereas Lukaku can't really run into anything in the middle of the pitch. But I do think that he can still move around and kind of drag defenders out of position for others to come into play, which Werner does so well. He can still do some of that, but it's just, if we're expecting Lukaku to kind of get in, I guess even Lukaku he's scored goals when he's gotten in behind for Inter Milan, but expecting him to do exactly what Timo Werner does and create loads of chances, just even if you paid 200 million or 300 million pounds, you can't make him do something that is not in his game. So, but I still think it's a valid point. He could do more, definitely could do more in terms, whether it's holding up the ball better or making more intelligent runs or better movements. But you can't make an elephant run 100 miles an hour is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but it's valid though.
Yeah, and I think on the point of Callum Hudson-Odoi, I do rate him as a player. I really do rate him, and I think he's a credible player. And we've seen what he can do at left wing. I think tonight he just struggled, not just because he was, I guess, on the left back position, his unnatural position, something we know that he clearly does not like at all. But because he was the only natural crosser in the actual team, I think with Azpilicueta as well, who didn't attempt a single cross all night, from what I saw. He was the only one who had like the ability to actually cross them in, and which is why we kind of lacked opportunities, because yes, it was his responsibility, but at the same time he was just not able to pull it off most of the times. Yes, 2 or 3 of those, and that goal one, the one that he made for the goal and the one right after the goal were 2 quite dangerous ones. I can't remember, right at the start of the game, the first 2 minutes when Aspi was forward and he got the opportunity in the box as well. That was a good one. So a few good ones, but it's just, I guess, because all the responsibility tonight was on him to create those crossing chances, it just kind of left him or the Palmeiras players knowing well enough what to do and how to defend against him at one point. So I guess, yeah, he's young, he's going to learn. And I guess if play him at left wing and you'll see the magic that he produces. And we've seen that multiple times. There's not much of a debate there to be happening. Other than that, let me just give some credit to Kepa while we're at it. The guy has changed it around. Let me begin with that. He has changed it around in terms of his performances on a weekly basis. Just incredible to see him.
He's a £40 million player now, man.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to be able to sell him for so much money this summer. I know it sounds bad, and I love his redemption, man. It's just so good to see him nowadays be happy and put in great performances for Chelsea, put in commanding performances for Chelsea. I felt quite bad, to be honest, that he didn't start for this game. I thought he did deserve it, but Amart, do you think he's going to play in the Carabao Cup final, or do you think Mendy will get the nod?
I think it will be Kepa. I think Kepa will play because I think that this game, Kepa would start because the way he has been performing nowadays, and Mendy just came back from the African Cup, so I thought Mendy would be given a bit of a rest, and it wouldn't even make sense to me, like playing Mendy, and then when he gets the penalties, change him for Kepa. Like just use Kepa throughout, because to make much more sense, and then we'd have at least one extra spots for subs. But he didn't play, and Mendy also did well today. To be fair, he didn't really have much to do and that was one thing too. I kind of noticed. We were very, very lucky that the Palmeiras attackers were finishing poorly. We were very, very lucky because there were some chances that they got in the first half where they could have scored easily, but they weren't really taking their chances on well. They were not even drawing saves from Mendy. They were just skyrocketing it and stuff like that. But some of them were one-on-one, like with a defender, but they didn't use it well, and we're lucky. And it reminded me of the Corinthians game too as well. Corinthians, when we played against them in 2013, I think 2013, they had more chances than we did in that game, and they were completely missing a lot of chances in the game until one of them went in the
that left winger of theirs, Dudu, I think his name was. He looked so sharp. He was, every time he got the ball, it was always he had a couple of really good moments, just fast feet. He had a couple of shots that just missed the top corner a couple of times. And he was definitely their danger man. But other than that, though, I don't really remember many times. I think there were a couple of crosses, maybe a couple of headers he had to kind of catch. But I don't really remember any proper save or big saves Mendy had to make today.
I don't think he made even one big save.
No.
Because they were skyrocketing all their shots. He didn't really have any big saves. But like what you said about Kepa, right now it seems like we have 2 number ones in the team. We have 2 number ones and a number 2. So I don't know. You were saying that we'll sell him for a higher price. I think to me, Kepa deserves to be number one somewhere. He deserves to be number one at the big team. I don't think it's fair for him to be playing second fiddle. Even Mendy too is great. Mendy's fantastic, and he's also been very, very good. His redemption arc this season has been crazy, and yeah, I really want to see him be a number one for a big team, not just as a number two, come in for Carabao games and FA Cup games. I want him to be playing week in, week out, because he deserves it. He's very, very good. And his penalty ability is just crazy. Like, this guy can, this like, I've not really had that much confidence with the keeper going to penalties, to be honest. even with Peter Cech, we always like, he could catch, he could not catch. Mendy, we know Mendy isn't really good, so we don't really have hope. But with Cech, we have hope that he might either stop this or it might go in. But with Kepa, it's like we are very, very confident that at least he's going to save one or two. And we've not had that at Chelsea in a very long time. Yeah, whoever gets it will be very, very fortunate.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's our greatest penalty saving keeper we've ever had.
He definitely is. Is.
Yeah. Which is, I wouldn't have said, I guess you could have said even after or maybe you could have had an inkling of it even after a year, because in his first season, he had a couple of penalty shootouts in the Europa League, I think the main one was the Eintracht Frankfurt one. And he saved I think he got us through to the final by saving a ball by closing his legs, which was pretty sick.
But just the ball on the line, like this.
Yeah, that was mad. So yeah, he's been, love to just see him. It's just a shame. I know I kind of want him to stay. Just like the guy in general. He's like, I think someone liked a tweet of mine from about 3 years ago where it was certain Twitter or Chelsea personality saying that Mason Mount and Declan Rice had elite mentalities and Kepa Arrizabalaga did not. And I
think he does. I think he does.
Yeah, and there's no other way to say it. Kepa does have an elite mentality nowadays, and I might just go and sneakily tweet it later, because that person has around 300,000 followers now, so maybe I can get some good traction. But yeah, we'll be able to sell him. We'll be able to sell him, make some really good money on him, and I think it's technically. Yes, we paid 70 million for him, but if you think about it, I think it's if you think about it in terms of amortized player fees, so you divide his fee over the length of his contract, which is 7 years. He's had 4 years of his contract down. So I think technically he's worth 30-40 million. So if we can sell him for that, technically we haven't made a loss on him, which is pretty nice fee. And like you say, he deserves to be number one somewhere, to have that trust in him, to get the change of scenery as well. So he'll be, I think, would probably help him as well. So yeah, get a change of scenery, sell him to Everton. Lampard, let's go.
Put in Ross Barkley in there, just hide Ross Barkley in the contract.
Sprinkle Ross Barkley on the very last page of the contract. It's the asterisk, clause, ZZ.
Yeah.
Ross Barkley must join your club.
Yeah, if you want to buy, you have to take Ross Barkley as well.
Yeah. It's a buy one, get one free. You can't just buy one, you have to get him free.
But you guys think Ross Barkley will be welcome back at Everton? I don't think the Evertonians really like him that much. They didn't like when he left, the way he left.
I don't think Everton have ever liked a single player or manager. They're one of those clubs who just hate any club who has played for them before and has left. And if they come back, or even if they're coming back with the other team, Everton Everton fans just hate them.
I think they still like Lukaku. I think they still like Lukaku. I think they don't give Lukaku as much hate as they give Barkley, to be honest. They don't, because I think Lukaku scored so many goals for them before he went to United. And I remember when he was at United, whenever he went back to Everton, they didn't really boo him. It's Barkley that they've been doing it to a lot. I don't even think they even booed him when he played. Did he play when he faced Everton? I think he did. They didn't boo him. They didn't boo him. But
probably because they were winning, because we always lose against Everton.
And, yeah, so I just hope Kepa gets a very good team to go to, maybe in England or back in Spain, anywhere. Like he like before we've said, he has to get a number one spot.
Yeah, I think we've gone on quite a bit of a tangent again.
Yeah, we've already talked about two players who didn't play today. So love it.
Podcast.
Yeah, no, tangent CFCTALK podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Other than that, I can't remember I mean, great goal by Lukaku, the header, firstly. Let me just clarify after all the grilling that we've done. He's been great in terms of scoring goals.
Good assist from Cho as well.
Yeah.
But I think the funniest thing was that Thiago Silva won a golden ball for the tournament, despite playing 2 games and keeping clean sheets in only one of them. Okay. He of course deserved. He was fantastic. He's been great, but yeah, it's just funny that we played 2 games out of, like, other teams have played quarterfinals, round of 16 probably, I think. Or no, maybe it's just a quarterfinal. I think there were a couple of round of 16 games.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there were.
Teams have tried to get to around that stage, and we just go, nah, we're champions of Europe. We do what we want, and Thiago Silva wins golden ball. So I'll take that.
I think that's why the champions of the world thing doesn't really sit. It doesn't sit well in a lot of people's mouths, but it is what it is. It's the name of the trophy we won.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah. So it's funny. We'll take a nice little trophy to add another line on Thiago Silva's Wikipedia page. So more for that. So I
want to add, as much as people say it's a plastic trophy, you don't just get there by winning those 2 games against the AFC winners and the Brazilian winners. You don't just go get in there like that. You have to get top 4 in one of the hardest leagues in the world. And then you have to win one of the hardest competitions in the world, and then win the Super Cup after that. So beat the other European champions or the Europa League champions, and then go into this tournament, which, granted, you might get 2 easier games than any of the games that you've played before, but that's just because the level of football in Europe is much higher than anywhere else. So to say it's a pointless trophy, that voice crack there, but to say it's a pointless trophy is it just doesn't make any sense to me.
And I'm sure if that trophy was made of anything other than plastic, there'd probably be some big concerns. So I'll take that plastic. We'll take that plastic trophy, drive on the chin, and maybe if Piers Morgan can win one, maybe if Arsenal can win one. Piers Morgan probably won't call us out.
Didn't they celebrate a pre-season trophy? I can't remember what it was called.
They have the Emirates Cup.
It's the Emirates Cup, right?
Emirates Cup.
I think you guys are forgetting. They did the float for winning the Community Cup. They did it. They won a competition. They took it on the float.
I mean, realistically, there's a Emirates Club. I'm just trying to read for because
FC.
Yeah, I've never seen it though, because.
But yeah, in the meantime, whilst you Google it, I mean, I'm thinking of the highlights of this game. I mean, it was nice to see Kante and the Kante-Kovacic partnership come back. I mean, Georgie's been a bit recently. I don't know. He's not been the kind of top 3 Ballon d'Or Georgie that we know and love, I think. But then again, neither has Kante recently, I think. But I think Kante, it's more been him coming back from injury. But Kovacic was pretty class today as well. So, but it was that was the other thing as well. Mason Mount getting injured quite early on, I think, as well.
I was going to add on to that, and because I was going to leave a separate time for that, but now you said it, he's actually left the stadium in crutches. So a lot of heavy bandaging on that foot that he got injured on.
He did a video. We got a video with Kai Havertz. I think they were dancing or something, and you could see on his right foot that has been bandaged a lot. So, and I think even before the game, I was reading that he wasn't really fit for the game. So it was weird for him starting the game. But I don't know. And one thing too, I had an issue with was why Ziyech didn't start, because there wasn't any news of him not being fit or anything. he has been playing very, very well up to this point. And then he didn't start. When he came on, you could see the crosses he was putting in. Him and Ben actually, the crosses they were putting in when he came on was very, very good. Changed the game a bit. We were on the attack a lot, but I don't know why that didn't happen, because it was weird that we had to risk a half-fit mount instead of playing ZH, and we risked it and it didn't turn out well, because I think, was it the Al Hilal game? He took a shot and injured his foot. So after that, he was substituted. So he couldn't. Well, I think he did that or the game before that. He took a shot and then he was injured and he was substituted right after that. So I didn't expect him to come and play this game at all, but he did for some reason. He was not bad in the first half. He was pretty good in the first half, but that injury came very, very early, and then he had to go off. And it was weird not seeing him rather come on. Who came on for him? I've forgotten who came on for him.
Pulisic. Pulisic came on and looked pretty sharp, but yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I was just surprised that Ziyech was nowhere to be seen until late on in the game. It's just maybe just wanted to rest him really, and maybe Tuchel trusted that we could get the job done without, or maybe giving him a bit of rest. But that was a bit of a surprise to me.
I didn't even think Ziyech would play when Saul came on for Callum. I didn't think Ziyech would play, but it was a weird substitution, but he came on in the extra time, so it was his fit.
I can't really think of anything else to add to this. We've kind of gone through most of the guys. I guess we didn't really talk about the penalty.
Yeah, how can you forget about the match winner Kai Havertz?
I guess we're used to him scoring in finals.
Yeah,
Champions League final.
He's a full Chelsea legend now. Like, you can't even say anything about it. He's been at Chelsea 2 times and 2 years now. Is it 2 years? 2 years now, and then he's scored in the Champions League final and he scored in the match winner in the Champions League, and then the match winner in the Club World Cup final. Like, what else? What else can we expect from him? Like, he's a big game player. He's taking previous title little by little.
Yeah, now Carabao Cup final up next. It's going to star in that.
I've just kind of realized looking at the Chelsea schedule, we play one Premier League game until 5th of March, which is just insane because
that is insane.
Yeah, we play Crystal Palace next, and then we have the Champions League round of 16, and then the EFL Cup final and the FA Cup 5th round against Luton Town. So so we're gonna have a lot of games in hand. Soon when all those guys.
It's a funny one because you know how we had loads of games in hand on everyone else, and now everyone else has been. It's kind of felt weird. The Premier League, it feels like the Premier League hasn't really been on, but it has in a way. Like I maybe it's just that I don't play fantasy. I gave up on fantasy Premier League about 2 months ago, and just have not looked back on ever since they started cancelling games. It was like no more. But yeah, so it's felt like the Premier League's not been on, but it has, and there's been some interesting results like Man United drawing or losing every single game apparently, or something.
They drew against Southampton today, so
yeah. It's nice to see the Chelsea loanees and ex-Chelsea players as well at the same time. I think Broja's been absolutely killing it recently. He's just been full-on Diego Costa mode recently. So that's going to be nice to see him come back. But yeah, I think we only have one game. Yeah, like you say, we only have that one game against Palace next week. So yes, it means, other teams are going to start to catch up on us, but it also puts pressure on them. I think we've got a 7-point gap to West Ham. I think. I'm just going to fact check.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, but do they have more games to play? No, they don't. So it's just, yes, we didn't have the best Premier League form before we went away to the Club World Cup, but those other teams have had to win to kind of get close to us. Wasn't everyone saying that, oh yeah, Tottenham, if they win all their games in hand, they go above us? But it's Tottenham. They've lost two in a row. So yeah, no one in the top half of the table has won both of their or
And
won
they've got
all of their game in hands.
And some of their game in hands include Man City, Everton,
yeah,
Leeds. Yeah, this is goodbye Tottenham.
Yeah, goodbye.
Fun. It was fun while it lasted. I mean, we didn't even have to play to knock them out of the top four. They did it themselves.
They did it themselves.
That sounds like a Robert Greene style master plan. I don't know how, but just in my head sounds good. But yeah, I think Arsenal still have a load of games in hands. They have 2 on us, and they have decent-ish form, so they could start.
One of their games in hand is against us.
Ooh. Yeah, postponed.
Which was meant to be today. Yeah, which was meant to be today, but yeah.
So yeah, they got Brentford, Wolves. Their game against Liverpool also got postponed because of the Carabao Cup final. So they're going to have some interesting midweek game or tricky midweek games against big opposition. So yeah, that's not good for Arsenal. So yeah, it's going to be weird. Premier League football just seems like a distant memory. Feels, I don't know, maybe it's just.
It's true. Like, it's because of the way the COVID has interrupted a lot of the games, and we've played more games outside the Premier League than the Premier League itself. So it looks like you said, because of fantasy too, because we don't play fantasy that much, so we don't really focus on other teams as well, like we used to focus on the players and stuff like that. The cancellation of games, the postponement of games, those kind of things have really taken the interest out of it. Probably if you're a City fan or a Liverpool fan, you still be enjoying it now. But because we also are out of the title race too as well, it makes it seem like we're focusing elsewhere, and then we'll keep the Premier League in the background. But yeah.
So now we kind of use this, or hopefully you'd think we use this momentum from the Club World Cup or winning another trophy to kind of go back and kill it for the rest of the season. But would you guys rather, I don't know, because in the league, Liverpool aren't that far away from us.
We can catch up.
Would you rather get second or win the Carabao Cup?
I mean, finishing second and finishing third is not really any big difference.
Yeah,
it's just bragging rights. I won the Carabao Cup. I mean, I want every trophy because we can't win the Premier League. So we should try and at least win every other trophy. Take every other trophy apart.
The thing is, even if Liverpool come above us in the Premier League, we can just keep on going about how we won the Carabao Cup against them.
Yeah.
So pretty much, and I think we beat them in the league as well back in. Did we beat them in the league? I can't remember.
We drew, and then drew.
2 draws.
Yeah.
So unbeaten against them this season, technically we're better than them. Done.
Well, so it's, we have to beat them in the Carabao Cup. That to be unbeaten. But yeah, it's a weird one with the league. I don't know what their league fixtures are like, but yeah, they're still within catching distance. But yeah, of course, I think we'd all take another trophy. To get 3 in. The fact that we could have 3 trophies for the season by the end of February is pretty mad. So we'll take that. We can already call it a treble. Man United did that in 2018, so I see no reason why we can't. And then we just have to win the FA Cup, and then we can call it our little quadruple.
I mean, Man United aren't in the FA Cup anymore, so that's one. Teams are less worried about. So yeah, that's gonna be good.
And no Man City in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, and no Man City.
Who would have thought? So yeah, that's a lot to look forward to for sure. And I just miss the Premier League in general, to be fair. Maybe I won't say that in a couple of weeks' time after some questionable form again, but I just hope we can use this Club World Cup, just winning another trophy to kind of get back to the league and to really start to put some results together, because let's just face it, ever since Juve, we just haven't been the same, I don't feel, and it's time to really start getting to that. So yeah.
If we played the Premier League the way we play today, we would be drawing. We'll be and the draws will keep coming up. So unless we can include the extra time and penalties in the Premier League, we need to change that. We need to
change that rule. Definitely.
We need to change the play, to be honest.
Imagine how good that would be.
in the Premier League.
Imagine how silly it would be. You can't draw in the Premier League. You must take it to penalty shootouts. And then whoever wins the Premier League is just a competition for who wins the most.
I mean,
games.
the Americans would be so happy. I think we'll get more Americans watching it. One of their biggest complaints about football is that it ends in a draw. They don't understand how a sport can end in a draw. So if that is included, they will not play draws anymore, and we'll have more American fans to us. So.
Talk to a cricket fan who can watch a game for 5 days and it ends as a draw. So send the American my way.
5 days and then a draw, man.
That's peak.
Yeah.
That is peak. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else right now other than again, there's a couple of other Chelsea side news that we can kind of go through. Whether that be, I mean, that's Lampard's. I guess Lampard's the main one. Lampard's the main one. And he's got a good result today. His first win in the Premier League against Leeds, 3-0. So nice. That's a good start for him and takes them a bit further away from the relegation zone, which I'll try not to laugh about because support our boy.
No, I mean, let's talk about the positives though. The few good signings that he's already made with Dele Alli has come in. I can't remember what the other one was.
Donny van de Beek.
Donny van de Beek. I
think Donny van de Beek is the good signing.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. Yeah, I completely blanked out there. But yeah, I think two great signings for Everton at least, who are going to really improve their team. And we're trying to tell Frank Lampard, look, if you want a great midfield, we've got Ross Barkley. We can give him to you.
Yeah.
You want a great left back, Lucas Digne, as much as he had issues with Rafa Benitez, we can give you a backup in terms of Marcus Alonso. You can have
he got sold, remember, to Villa.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So replacing Lucas Digne, we can give you Marcus Alonso with him as well. You just pay for Marcus Alonso. We'll give you Ross Barkley with him free.
It is a point. I think they play one of their youth players right now, or I think his name is Kenny. Last name Kenny.
Yeah.
He plays at left back. Oh, he's 24, but still, you could definitely fill that left back spot with someone who's vastly experienced. Cue Marcus Alonso come in, So
someone who's won everything at Chelsea.
He's won it. He by the end of this month he will have won everything. So, but that would be good. And you could get a golden trifecta midfield of Dele, Van de Beek, Barkley. That's nice, but I don't think it's on the table for Barkley anymore, especially now that they've got Van de Beek and Dele, and it's the ship sailed. I think maybe Lampard was trying to make a point. I'm going to buy get two midfielders in, but not him. Oh well, can try and get someone else in.
There's always drink water.
Yeah,
I would. I don't have a cup right now to kind of.
Three for one. Buy one get three.
Yeah, buy one get three.
Because we have a lot of players that we need to upload during the summer. We really do. We have a lot of players we need to upload. Favara, man. Things that Acosta is still a Chelsea player. Kennedy, Emerson has to be he has to be sold permanently to Leon. Drinkwater, Barkley. So many players that needs to go.
Acosta is no longer.
He's no longer
a Chelsea player. We sold him to Atalanta, I believe.
I thought it was on loan. That's why I wasn't sure.
I think it was
10 million. 10 million.
Yeah, that was probably one of the better sales Chelsea's done.
Yeah, honestly, I can't believe that we did that. I thought Atalanta were up there. Well, they were last year, but then this year I think it's more. I think the top three teams this year in Serie A are Inter Milan, AC Milan, and then Napoli. So I'm not sure where Atalanta are. And
they were really, really good last season. I think that's why they made a lot of sales. But
fifth. But
Juventus they're also struggling a lot this season.
Yeah. It's close. Serie A is really close this year. But so that's been nice to get Zappacosta off. But we just have countless players who are either on loan or just we've got the reserve team, or just, yeah, like you say, there's a lot of players that we have to kind of sell. But unfortunately, Marina, sometimes being a good negotiator sometimes kind of backfires a little bit, because you'll demand more than what a lot of clubs are willing to pay. So yeah, you probably want like 30 million for Drinkwater or something, try and recoup the money back. But yeah, hopefully we can at least do some, and eventually the contracts will run out, because we're not renewing many of these guys anyway.
Yeah.
So all good on that front.
Yeah, agree with that. There's not much really to add on. I guess that should pretty much do it for this episode. Once again, apologies for not doing an episode after the Plymouth game and after the semi-final. Everyone's just been busy, and it's actually the perfect time to take kind of a break before we've got a hectic schedule ahead, with a game almost every 3 days now. Crystal Palace, Lille, and then Liverpool, and then Luton Town, and then we've got Arsenal and Leicester City, which is going to get rescheduled somewhere in between there as well. So yeah, looking forward to what February, March, April brings us to 27th of Feb, important day, Chelsea, Liverpool, the Carabao Cup final, which is going to be a key date as well. But yeah, pretty much it for tonight's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.